I'm still here. Okay, Marcus, tell us a little bit about your childhood, if you would.
All right. Well, as y'all know, my name is Marquis. I'm originally from Tupelo, Mississippi. So I grew up there. I got 2 sisters and I got 3 brothers. So I'm the oldest. So I grew up with a single mom, but my parents divorced when I was like 6. So I grew up, it was just me and my sisters, and it was hard. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't, sometimes we didn't have, sometimes we did, but we made it through. But what I like to say is, like Miss Judy was saying, like not just having direction sometime and just going with the flow, and somebody not just drilling in you like, hey, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer, you need to be something. I didn't have that. So like I said, I was telling Miss Judy, if I would have had that, maybe I might have been in a different position. I might have been somewhere else. I might have did something else. But finding out on my own and just going through the ups and downs, the bumps and bruises, and figuring out what's the best thing for you, I think that was the best thing that could have happened to me at the same time. Because some people wanted spoon-fed to them and stuff like that, which it's not a bad thing, but I came and it was hard. So I had to figure it out the best way I could.
Yeah. Okay. And if you can look back on your younger years, what inspired you to go into the sound and video?
Well, since it's been, maybe since I can remember, I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember my dad just playing Michael Jackson, all type of music. So he had me in front of the TV with his hats on and his church shoes, and I'm moonwalking all across the floor. So that was my first introduction to music. So I can remember just growing up and just being intrigued with music, all kinds. And it wasn't until I got like 13 or 14 on Christmas, and he bought me a keyboard. And ever since then, I never stopped doing music. It's just been inspiring me to just take it to the next level. So just learning music theory on my own, just figuring it out. And I think that keyboard really just inspired me to just go. Ever since I was 14, I ain't never looked back yet.
Wow, Michael Jackson. I liked him too.
It's another one too. What's his name? MC Hammer. I was flying across the floor.
I remember watching.
I remember saying, I can't touch this. That's all I can remember. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I wanted to move like Michael Jackson too. I think we all did. So, have there been any huge turning points in your life? You're a whole lot younger than a lot of us, but I know there've been some.
Well, yeah, I'm 38, so I know I don't look at people say 21, 25, but I wish I was. Well, I'm 38, so like I said, the turning point for me was, like I said, just going throughout life. And my parents, they did the best they could, but like I said, if they didn't know to send you in the right direction, how they gonna send me? So that part was the most turning point for me, just growing all through my early 20s and just bumping my head, learning, and it just so happened when I turned 28, I met my wife, Jelena, and I think that was the most turning point for me because she really seen something to me that I didn't know I had.
Aww.
And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have went to school and got my bachelor's degree or none of that, because she just seen it in me. She was like, I think you need to do that. And I was like, me? And I was like, And that's why I want to say about the kids, is just having somebody in y'all life, just like Miss Nay, the mere fact that she got y'all here, y'all should be blessed and happy, because y'all can be anywhere. She could not care anything. So just be appreciative of her. And anybody, it can be her, it can be a brother, sister, auntie, anybody that encourage you trying to do the right thing just because they see something in you that you don't see yourself. And you think that she might be hard on you, like, she won't let up, but you need it. And you're going to appreciate it. You're going to look back when you get my age of 25, 26, and be like, man, I really appreciate Miss Nay. She was a blessing in my life, or whoever it is. So that's the message I really wanted to let y'all know.
Wow, that's wonderful. I know we've all heard stories about someone that's come back from war, or somebody that's looked in their an old memory box and found a letter from a teacher or someone that inspired them from years and years ago. And sometimes it can just be one person that inspired you and saw good in you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. When you were growing up, I'm sure, as I was speaking earlier, about people doing the best they could. And were you encouraged to go to church?
Okay. So yeah, like my mom, she's been in the church. She started out, she wasn't until I got like 10 years old. So then she started going to church devotedly every day, every Wednesday, Sunday. So then we transitioned from not going to church to, all right, now we got to go to church every Sunday, Wednesday. And I'll be honest, I didn't like it at first. I promise I didn't, because I'm like, where did this come from? But like I said, it happened for a reason, because my mom, all those Bible verses and everything that she said is just embedded in my head. So it's just, and I didn't think it was, but subconsciously it was in there. So she can say anyone from Psalms 91 and, all the Bible scriptures and stuff like that, but just for assurance. But that alone was like a foundation to where like my mentality and how I think, it just helps to where I come here now. And we come from like you said, probably a Baptist background or whatever it is, but the church that I grew up in, it was like a New Life Fellowship type church. So it kind of this church reminded me so much of that. And when I came and I talked to Miss Judy, I talked to Miss Janet, I felt like I was home already. So that's what it is.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I do hope that you've always felt welcome here.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Yeah, I had written a little article 2 or 3 years ago and had placed it in my blog, and it came up yesterday and I saw it. It reminded me of my grandson, our grandson, when he was just a little guy, and Shelby would come to church with Dan and me pretty much every Sunday. She was bored at home. And Andy would stay home with his mom and dad. They were both teachers, and Sherry had enough laundry on Sundays to do that she needed to stay home. But he came to church with us one Sunday, and when he got home, he ran into the house and told his mom and dad, they were so glad to see me. And it was so sweet, and it made me feel so good.
Right.
And I thought, everybody ought to feel that way when they go to church. They were really glad to see me. Wasn't that sweet? And I hope we make you feel that way.
Yes, ma'am. Like I tell you, every Sunday I come here, it's like a rejuvenating feeling. I need it to get through the week. I need to say the affirmations. I need to stand up and sing a praise song. I need to sing all of that. So it's just I just need that, and it just helps me get through the week. So
made a difference in your life?
Yes, and I didn't know it, like I said, because I come from like a New Life Fellowship background. So I know it's to go to church, read the Bible, pray. But as I come here and I learn that meditation is the same thing. So it's just.
It is.
So in everything, like I said, it could have been anything. My mind is open to anything. It could have been any religion, but I know at the end of the day, it's all driving back to one particular goal to everybody to reach, be happy, and just respect and serve God. So I just understand it from all levels. We could have been in Iran, we could have been in Japan, but I'm pretty sure whatever they believe in, it's all going to one source, and I think that's what it's all about.
I like that. It is one source, and as I said earlier, the more we become aligned with our own soul and our soul's purpose, the journey becomes a bit easier. We don't have quite the same challenges
Right.
that we did. We're listening
Yes, ma'am.
more. And it's not that you get it wrong, it's just that your life will be a lot easier if you if you're aligned with God, and I think truly to want to serve, and that's what you said a moment ago.
Yes, ma'am.
To want to serve is incredibly important. When we want to serve the higher good, we're giving up our own selfish preferences from the ego,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's a bit scary when you say, God, use me, here I am, here I am.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's pretty important, isn't it, to put
Yes, ma'am.
yourself out there and serve.
And that's why, like, just love hearing you. We've been having these discussions, but I love hearing you speak on Sundays because you will say something that I don't even, might not be expecting it, but you'll be right on the nail with what I need to hear that week. And I'll just be so anxious to hear what you got to say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you have a practice of, some people call it silence, quiet. Others call it meditation. Do you have a quiet time when you, as Jesus said, you go off alone?
Well, yeah, I might get in trouble for this, but I kind of do it all the time. But I try to let them know it's not personal. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes like, you know, and I understand with us as human beings, we need some time to get to, you know, get alone and meditate, get your thoughts together, or because I'm not perfect. You know, everybody might have an attitude. Somebody might have an attitude. They might not feel good. You might not feel like talking to somebody. So, and you know, we're not perfect. So sometimes you might need to just get to yourself, take a few breaths, go out and touch with nature, walk around bare feet, do something, you know, or whatever it is that will help you unlock your chi. That's what I like to call it. So whatever it is, it can go run, like you like to go walk in the morning. Some people like to go plant, mess with their garden. Anything. So I just advise people anything, whatever it is to unlock your chi. I'm not judging you. Whatever it is that you do to make yourself feel calm, collected, do it.
True. Whatever it is, and we're all different.
Yes, ma'am.
And we each find something that, you know, some people when they walk, they're having a conversation with God the whole time. They might say, gee, I walk 2 miles in the morning or till I feel better. If you have something troubling you. And you better be careful, though. You may be walking to Mobile and back if you're just going to walk till you feel better.
Yes, ma'am.
But it is true.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
all, for whatever reason, get up sometimes, just don't feel well.
Right.
And if you're fortunate enough to spend some time alone, you can go within.
It's
into
just
the
mental
silence.
too. Like, I'm sorry. It's most of it just mental that I just come to figure it out. Like, it's just, you might be thinking about something too much and you just got to let it go sometimes. Like, and I just really go back to the affirmations. Like, I just leave it in God's hands, and my health and happiness and success are assured. So I just really meditate on it all day, every day. I'm glad I learned that, because that's been pivotal in my life. Like, when I just get discouraged, I need something to pick me up. I just meditate and I say that affirmation as many times as I can.
That's great. Have you ever had an inclination to maybe feel sorry for yourself or poor me? You don't
Of
seem
course.
like. Oh, you have. Okay.
Like I said, I'm human, man. I go through all the ups and downs and the waves like everybody else. Like, sometimes I might find myself in a depressed state sometimes. I don't know where it come from. It's nothing wrong. And it's just some anxious feeling, down feeling come on. And that's where I came here and you really taught me how to meditate. Just opening your hands, closing your eyes, and unlocking, letting the spirit come down. So I think most of that is just that, you know.
Allowing, opening yourself up and allowing. when you first came here, did you think it was sort of strange when, no?
Not at all.
No? Okay.
Not at all. Like I said, I come from, we had it hard growing up, so I don't judge anybody. I grew up, like anybody want to say, in the worstest parts of town, seen all walks of life. So coming here is like, you know, I see everybody's in love and spirit, so it just draws me in. So I never felt uncomfortable from the first day I met you or Miss Janet.
Oh, good. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. And your mother is still in Tupelo, and
Yes, well, she's in Nashville right now with my sisters.
okay, she's still greatly involved in her
Of
church
course.
work. And
I can show you my phone now. She's sending me a Bible scripture right now. Right now.
well,
I
that's
just wake
good.
up. It's 5 text messages, all of them Bible scriptures, every day.
I understand. Us mothers have a lot in common.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, are there, you seem like such just a logical, common sense, but deeply sensitive
It's funny that you say that,
person.
because that's what really draw me into the unity part of it, because it's just common sense at the end of the day. Like what you're teaching is just common sense. How to get to yourself, meditate, affirm. It's just common sense. And I think sometimes we just forget that sometimes, and we just be overwhelmed. Might have some stuff going on, or just your religious background. You was taught something different. Man, this right here, I think, just centered me all the way.
Well, that's wonderful, and you don't seem to let doctrine or words or, human thoughts or any
Not at all.
previous.
Because I can't judge. I know it's 6 billion people in the world. We only on this side of the world, and it's just so much going on. Who are we to say that this side of the world is just right for what they believe? It just don't make any sense.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yes,
we being in a free country, and we certainly do appreciate it, but we can easily forget. I've noticed in this country that there is a huge world out there.
Right.
And do we really think? Do we really, really, really think that someone across the world in China or, some other place, and they haven't accepted a certain doctrine?
Right.
That they're going to hell?
Right.
Are we kidding?
Right.
Are we really kidding?
Or are they wrong? It's like, it just
Are they
don't make
wrong?
sense.
Yeah. They're,
And I never thought about it like that until I came here. But I always had that inkling in my head. Like, it's just, when I was going to church as a younger age, I'm like, we learned this, but they learned this over here, but who is to say that we right or they wrong?
Yeah.
Or what? It's just too confusing. But at the end of the day, I like to say it all bring us back to one center point, whether you believe in this or that. All of it is one thing to me. So I can connect with somebody that's Muslim, somebody that's whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter, because I know we all reaching for one goal. You can see it in people, like whatever it is. I know you striving for happiness, to serve God. So that's my point.
I was watching a video one day of a man that had died from a heart attack, but he had he said it wasn't a near death. He did die,
Right.
and then he came back, and he was a black man. He was in his 40s, and he said that the world that he saw while he was dead was just absolutely unbelievable, and that he had a heart attack because of all the anger that he had inside all his life. From the moment he was born, he lived in a community where there was a lot of racism. And what happened was, and I understand that, but people felt disempowered, and they felt like they had no other way to be except angry and resentful. And he said that he had been that way his entire life till it got to the point he had a heart attack and nearly died, or he did die. He came back. But he saw God. He saw enough while he was in this other place that told him that everyone's doing the best they can, and that holding resentment or anger is not hurting them. It's only hurting you. And the only way you can make a difference in the world and change things, the only way, is not through anger and hate, but it's come back and just be as much love as you can be. Now, does that mean you allow people to take advantage of you, mistreat you? No. But if somebody says something hateful, you say, well, that's kind of hateful. But you know what? I don't think I'm going to be triggered by that. Right. I'm going to move on and be at peace. Yeah. But that's what he said. And he said he realized how much illness, disease he saw, how a good part of it came from thoughts.
And that's one thing. See, you hit it right on the nail again. See, that type of stuff is just, you need to hear that type of stuff. I don't know what people might be going through, but I needed to hear that right then as she said it. And it's just a daily reminder not to hold grudges and don't take everything so personal. Man, it's just with everything, like the kids at school, like somebody might be picking on y'all or whatever, talking about you. Don't take it so personal like that. Like, be happy to be different. Be peculiar. That's what they call me, peculiar. Because I'm not like everybody else. I hear it. And it's good not to be like everybody else. Be yourself. Don't be a follower, be a leader.
Oh, that's great. I will look that man's name up. He was such a profound speaker. I could just hardly believe it. But then he's devoted the rest of his life to sharing love.
Right.
And a new story.
Right.
And we've all been indoctrinated with an old story, and we're opening up and wanting to know more and wanting to be more accepting. And we can only do that if we are willing. There's got to be a willingness. And if you are not going to be willing to accept anything except your own ideas, then you're just never going to receive it, are you?
No, you won't. And that's why I like to say, like, just being open to everything and anything somebody has to tell you. It can be anybody. Don't judge. It can be this drunk guy at the store, but he might have some information for you that day that the spirits, he's led him to tell you. And I just listen. It don't matter who it is. I'm willing to help. And the whole thing, where I like to base it around, just with all the religions or whatever you want to call them, they all just, to me, seem like they based around love, the willingness to just care and show people that you love them. And I think that's what we all gonna benefit from.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else about that? Oh, I do want to ask you this. I know that you told me, you shared with me several months ago that your faith had really been strengthened. That one thing that I encourage people to do is to hold positive thoughts, and it can change your life. And you will bring good your way. Sometimes it may take a while, but it will come. I think that's speeding up some between asking and it will be given. Seems to be speeding up these days. I had a thought about John Barber the other day, and there he is. I said in a meeting Thursday, a board meeting, I was talking about our friend Rosemary. Hadn't heard from her for a while. She called me yesterday. Just so many things that seems like they're just absolute proof right there in front of you that you, if you will allow yourself to think positive thoughts, dream powerful dreams, see, visualize what's going to bring me joy, feel it right there. But I know you and I had a conversation that you said that the affirmations here, and especially I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. You said that you've used that over and over to bring good into your life.
Yes, ma'am. And it just happened like, that's how I got this. And I really just, when I was going to church, I first started, I kind of didn't understand it, but I just started just reaching out and pointing and touching and just saying, I understand, I am, and, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And lo and behold, it happens. And I didn't get the job that I've been wanting to get, and there it is, it happened. And it's just as easy as just thinking it, just for like the kids out there, whatever you want to do, especially you, young man, whatever you want to do, man, do it. Because I know, I'm just letting you know, like, this between me and you is just hard out there for us growing up out here. So you have a lot of stuff coming at you for us, just like the music, all this stuff out here is a distraction. So you have to be smart, make the best decision that you can, and surround yourself with the people that you need to be around, and always think positive. You can do whatever you want to do. You know, like I said, I grew up and I didn't have people directing me saying, okay, you need to learn stocks, you need to learn investments, you need to do this. This stuff we need to learn. So if anybody is trying to pour it into you, and this, like I just spoke it up, just thinking about it, learn about it, teach yourself this stuff, you know what I mean? It's going to make your life better.
Wow. Well, you certainly have made a difference for us here, and just, you know, what you've said reminds me that if we can just remember to never fall into that place where we're thinking, I'm not as good as other people, or they've got it easy, and you'll look at someone else, oh, haven't they had an easy life? And I guarantee you nobody has. And all of the challenges that we've had, every single one of them, every single one, we've grown from them. If you'll look at them, you've grown from them. And you may say, I don't want to grow from any of those challenges anymore. Well, you're learning.
Right.
Guess what? You're learning, and life is a school, and we're here to become the best we can be in this lifetime.
Right.
It's my belief. Well, you certainly are. We're glad to have you part of our family. And I look at you as one of my children.
Oh, thank you.
Glad you're here.
Yes, ma'am.